This man is an adjudicated sexual abuser. Okay? Adjudicated by a jury in the Southern District of New York, found liable for something that most people, as the judge said 3 times, consider rape. He is a narcissistic sociopath, and he doesn't believe in anybody other than himself. He doesn't believe in the country. He doesn't believe in any of you. He doesn't believe in the rule of law. He doesn't believe in the Constitution that he would swear to uphold. He can't help himself but emotionally react to things. One of the things that he's a narcissistic sociopath. That's the thing everyone has to kind of get used to. It's the reason why you cannot normalize him. You cannot treat him like a normal human being because he's not.
Donald Trump launched an attack against the Midas Touch network on his social media platform yesterday. He showed a video that we did. It's an interview with former Attorney General Eric Holder. And then after showing that video where Donald Trump attacked Holder and attacked our interview, Trump went on a posting spree with over 400 posts within a 1-hour period.
You're a conservative attorney, married to one of Trump's closest advisors, and you're about to do something that will make the former president absolutely lose his mind. You walk onto a national television set carrying a giant poster board. On it, the complete diagnostic criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. And you're about to go through it, point by point, proving that Donald Trump hits every single one. That's exactly what George Conway did. And what happened next turned into one of the most explosive feuds in modern political television.
And you can't let him testify. He'd be torn to shreds in about 3 minutes. But that said, he never listens to his lawyers. If he doesn't testify, it's not going to be because he all of a sudden decided to follow legal advice. He's causing his lawyers to do stupid things in court, like the cross-examination of Stormy and the miscues the other day and the cross-examination of Michael Cohen. He doesn't listen to his lawyers. If he doesn't testify, it's because he's scared. Donald, you are scared. You like to go out and stand out there in the hallway and say all the things that you say because nobody gets to ask you questions. And if they ask you questions, you just turn around and walk away. You, Donald, I hope you're listening to me, you are a wuss. You are scared of actually doing what Stormy Daniels had to do and what Michael Cohen had to do and what every other person who's called, you can't call these people liars, Donald, unless you go on the stand and tell your truth. Let's hear it. Let's see how you do. Are you afraid, Donald? I think you are.
I know you're trying to make him sweat. You're making me sweat as much as I covet the idea of more and a variety of viewers.
Oh, you want him to testify too, Nicole.
Here was Trump's attack on the Midas Touch network for our interview with former Attorney General Eric Holder. You see right here, you see the Midas Touch logo from his post, and Trump goes, Obama sycophant, the former Attorney General who did so much to hurt our country and who weaponized against the Republicans and me, known as Fast and Furious, just gave a speech where he emphatically stated above all else, the Democrats will pack the Supreme Court of the United States if they get any chance. The word is he wants 21 radical left activist judges. Not being satisfied, he then goes on to say that the American people don't want gridlock, terminate the filibuster, and have the most successful 4 years in the history of our country. And again, he shows the interview that I did with former Attorney General Holder.
Let's talk about how a conservative lawyer became Trump's worst nightmare on live TV and why the former president's responses prove everything Conway has been saying all along. The morning that changed everything. July 19th, 2024. MSNBC's Morning Joe. George Conway sits across from host Mika Brzezinski with something that looks like a science fair project. But this isn't your typical political pundit appearance. Conway has just launched something called the Anti-Psychopath PAC, which he also calls Psycho PAC, and he's brought receipts.
His personality disorders make him a fascist. He does not care about anyone else. He does not care about the rule of law. He does not care about justice. He does not care about right and wrong. He's a criminal. He's a convicted criminal, 34 counts. He stands charged with many other, which I really don't think he has much of it. There was a bipartisan immigration bill that was going to try to fix some of this stuff. And Trump didn't want to fix it. He made the House vote against it because he doesn't want a rational system. He wanted the system to fail.
I want to show you now what Trump was posting in those 400 post after post after post after launching that attack on us for our interview with former Attorney General Eric Holder. Here are the types of posts that Donald Trump is making. In those 400 posts, he posts this: wild. Michelle Obama may have used Biden's auto pen in the final days of his disastrous administration to pardon key individuals.
He unfolds a massive poster board showing all 9 diagnostic criteria for narcissistic personality disorder from the American Psychiatric Association's manual. And then he does something that's never been done on live television. He goes through each criterion one by one, showing how Trump meets every single one of them. He's 9 for 9, Conway says flatly. He's a sick man, and that's what we're seeing. If you're enjoying this breakdown of how Conway systematically exposed Trump's behavior on national television, make sure you're subscribed to this channel.
You're too worried to come out. Wait till what happens if you don't come out. And this is just, it is such a crucial moment. We have reached, this has been building obviously all year, all the different things that the Trump administration has done, and it's accelerating now. There is no question now. People were kind of frowning about the use of the word authoritarian and fascist to describe Trump at the beginning of the year, but we've seen nothing but that ever since. Right. The prosecution of political enemies, soldiers on the streets, everything that you read about in, the attempt to divide, demonize the enemy, calling them, terrorists, calling people who are just marching in the streets, terrorist supporters, and Antifa and Hamas and all that stuff. And you see, it is really, really.
Trump is now spreading a conspiracy that the former First Lady Michelle Obama was actually running the White House. What in the world is he talking about? Then Trump posts the following: John Brennan was never for the American people, especially with his communist background and traitorous actions, from being labeled an assassination czar for Obama's secret drone strike program to running a weekly Tuesday morning kill list with Obama and openly claiming to be Muslim. John Brennan is not someone you can trust, leading torture programs. He lied about the amount of civilians that were being targeted and killed under Obama.
We're bringing you the real stories that other outlets won't touch, and we need your support to keep doing it. Hit that subscribe button right now. The criteria Conway laid out: failure to conform to social norms, deceitfulness, impulsivity, aggression, reckless disregard for the safety of others. Conway didn't just make vague accusations. He provided a clinical framework that anyone watching could verify themselves.
The thing about Donald Trump is,
and of course, he sued ABC News when George Stephanopoulos said that, even though Stephanopoulos was quoting the judge and ABC News settled.
Yeah, Stephanopoulos didn't quite say it the right way, but the judge said it 3 times, okay? And he's right. Because New York law had a particular definition of rape, and it doesn't matter. But the point of it is, there is no bottom with him. So that's why it's hard for me to say, oh, the Epstein thing is a huge scandal. It's like, no, it's of a piece. It's part and parcel of the most evil man ever to surface in American politics.
You see what Trump's doing here? He knows that he and Pete Hegseth have been caught committing horrific war crimes. By the way, their whole operation off the coast of Venezuela are war crimes, and now they've been caught with the double tap or double strike war crimes, and they don't know what to do, and they are flailing, and finally, you seem to have at least some degree of bipartisan demand for accountability of the Trump regime war crimes with Hegseth as they try to throw the admiral who was put in that position under the bus.
And here's the kicker. Conway announced that his PAC had just launched a 6-figure ad campaign running on Fox News, ESPN, and the Golf Channel, specifically around Bedminster and Mar-a-Lago. He was literally putting these ads where Trump would see them. The message: Donald Trump is fucking insane. That's not hyperbole. That's actually what Conway's PAC website says. The full statement reads, "Anti-Psychopath PAC was started for one reason."
I guess they don't like me, but let me just tell you, these are losers from day one. Guys like Bill Kristol, he's 0-32. George Conway, you take a look at him. Just take a look at that guy. The man's a stone-cold loser. So they should not call it the Lincoln Project. It's not fair to Abraham Lincoln, a great president. They should call it the Losers Project. Okay, thanks.
To understand Trump's authoritarianism, his racism, his misogyny, and everything else about him, you have to understand his basic psychology, which is he's a narcissistic sociopath.
Just look at some more of these posts that Trump was posting. I mean, this is quite literally, I don't know, psychotic? I mean, I'm not trying to use that word lightly. He's posting breathing out CO2 essential for plants and life, framed as planetary poison, even consciousness itself, unconscious bias, you can never fully escape. I mean, it's just the ranting and ravings of a lunatic.
To remind voters that Donald Trump is fucking insane. Sociopath and narcissist aren't just buzzwords. Trump's pathological lying, authoritarian tendencies, and his disregard for democratic norms will destroy our country if he gets reelected. He's that dangerous. The CNN explosion that broke all the rules.
Trump was moving the boxes, basically, going through the boxes basically himself, as though he were like, turning the door in the garage at the Watergate. People wanted to send Richard Nixon to jail for what was kind of a cryptic comment in the Smoking Gun tape about, well, we could get the CIA to tell the FBI to back off. And that was like, oh, he knew about the cover-up.
Donald Trump has never, ever been right in the head.
The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He's a wonderful man. Take a look at the oranges of the investigation. Venezuela, Joe Biden won against Barack Hussein Obama. Kidney has a very special place in the heart.
We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times.
But if you think that Morning Joe appearance was intense, wait until you hear what happened on May 31st, 2024, the day after Trump's 34-count conviction in his hush money trial. Conway appears on CNN this morning alongside Republican commentator Scott Jennings. The topic? Trump's historic conviction. And Jennings starts doing what Republican operatives do best, spinning the conviction as somehow good for Trump, comparing it to the Brett Kavanaugh hearings, claiming it will backfire on Democrats.
He is unwell, and that's why he can't follow. He's not going to be able to follow his lawyer's directions. That's why, he played right into the plaintiff's hands in the E. Jean Carroll case. They're trying to show basically he's a jerk. And what does he do? He acts like a jerk right in front of the jury. He shows disrespect for the jury. And, the fact of the matter is he's saying, oh, none of this ever happened. Well, okay, where's your testimony?
Then he reposts this. I'm sick and tired of this fucking pirates, excuse my language. They invade, rob us blind, impose Sharia bullshit, and milk the taxpayers dry with nonstop fraud after fraud. Meanwhile, there's unlimited cash for these inbred savages, but jack shit for our own veterans sleeping on the streets. You're the one defunding the VA, by the way. You're the one ripping away healthcare from people. But this is what Trump's posting. 400 different posts like this. Then Trump posts the following. Donald Trump is not a Democrat. He's not even a Republican. He's a movement. The greatest president to ever live is what he's posting. And then Donald Trump posts an AI video of the president of Venezuela, Maduro.
Conway listens for a bit. You can see him getting more and more frustrated. Finally, he sighs, shakes his head, and drops a bomb that nobody saw coming. Look, Scott's lying, and that's the problem with the Republican Party. It is continually addicted to lying. Dead silence in the studio. Jennings looks shocked. Wait a minute, what am I lying about? He asks. Conway doesn't back down. You're lying, Scott. You're lying about the law. You're lying about what the jury was charged to find.
None of his tricks are working anymore. We're on to them. They don't excite anybody anymore. He's losing in the polls. He has to try to make things up. And his own vice presidential candidate on another network today basically said, we're making up stories in order to win this election. And, it's not working for him, and he knows it, and he knows he's going down. And the more he feels that he's going down, remember, he's running not just for president, he's running from prison. You're going to see him engage in more and more desperate behavior. And that's what you see with I Hate Taylor Swift, is he's just lashing out.
Trump had just been convicted on 34 felony counts, and Republican operatives were already on TV pretending it was actually good for him. This is exactly the kind of unflinching analysis you'll get on this channel. We don't play games, we don't sugarcoat, and we definitely don't pretend that reality is something it's not. If you appreciate that approach, show your support by subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you never miss when we expose what's really happening.
Very good people.
They are good people.
For 2028, they're very good people.
Well, we have great people. I don't have to get into that, but we have one of them standing right here. We have JD, obviously. The vice president is great. I think Marco's great. I think, I'm not sure if anybody would run against us. I think if they ever formed a group, it would be unstoppable. I really do. I believe that. I would love to do it. I have my best numbers ever. It's very terrible. I have my best numbers. If you read it.
Donald Trump has done here. I mean, he's a pathological liar. He lies about everything. But this lie is just an exceedingly dangerous lie, as the Attorney General and Mr. McCabe has pointed out. And it's an attack on the entire system, of the legal system, as Judge Grasso put it before the break. And to emphasize how dramatic this is, this message is going out to tens of millions of people who are on
surrendering to Donald Trump. And Trump writes, breaking: Venezuelan president just publicly surrendered to President Trump. Maduro has now turned in state evidence against the Biden administration and is releasing proof that the Biden asked the Venezuelan government to ship Tren de Aragua drug gangs into the U.S. This is obvious AI that Donald Trump, the president of the United States, is posting, saying that the president of Venezuela surrendered. This is legitimately insane. This is beyond 25th Amendment territory.
CNN reportedly stopped booking him for a while after he called Trump a narcissistic psychopath because it was too harsh for their both sides approach. But Conway keeps showing up on television with clinical precision, laying out the case that Trump is psychologically unfit for office. Not with partisan talking points, but with diagnostic criteria from the American Psychiatric Association.
He is a narcissistic sociopath, and he doesn't believe in anybody other than himself. He doesn't believe in the country. He doesn't believe in any of you. He doesn't believe in the rule of law. He doesn't believe in the Constitution that he would swear to uphold. And he's all about his aggrandizement and putting himself first and revenge. And that's what narcissistic sociopaths do. They seek revenge.
This man belongs in a straitjacket right now. Then he continues to make these posts. I mean, look at this one. He goes, fraud, the 2020 election stolen. Then he goes on to say there are many ways to rig elections that are being exploited with operations in places including Canada, Brazil, Australia, South Korea, and the Congo, he says. Then it posts like this: John Brennan, enemy of the people, with photos of Brennan and former President Obama. Now, what's going on here? Why is Donald Trump panicking and freaking out like this? Well, his regime is collapsing right now. Donald Trump's cognitive and physical deterioration has been exposed, and finally corporate news is following the lead of the Midas Touch Network, and they're asking the tough questions, and they deserve credit for asking some of the tough questions as well.
George Conway has done something remarkable in American political discourse. He's broken the unspoken rule that says you can't question a major political figure's mental health on television. He's violated the cable news convention that says you have to treat obvious lies with respectful disagreement rather than calling them what they are. And he's done it all while providing a clinical framework that anyone can verify.
Okay, I was a Republican from 1980 to 2018. Okay? I don't want to see a Republican Party led by a fascist. but he is a fascist. He cannot help but be a fascist. His personality disorders make him a fascist. He does not care about anyone else. He does not care about the rule of law. He does not care about justice. He does not care about right and wrong. He's a criminal. He's a convicted criminal, 34 counts.
He's not asking you to trust his opinion. He's asking you to look at the diagnostic criteria for narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder, then watch Trump's behavior and decide for yourself. The fact that Trump responds to every single Conway appearance with exactly the kind of impulsive, vindictive behavior Conway is describing, that's not a coincidence. That's the point.